just going back quickly to Angus Groom again, if you want any more reason or any more ability to show what it means to someone who's of his standard, who's rode at the Olympics, that guy rode his race with a slip disc.
2 slip discs.
2 slip discs.
Yeah. So I had to sub in to the boats on the Tuesday before the race. Angus, I don't think, could sit down because he was in so much pain. And every morning before they would then go out, so when I then wasn't subbing into the boat, he would get warmed up by the physio for like 30 minutes before the session so that he could get in the boat and row.
Yeah.
Like if there's any, like that's how much this race means to people.
Yeah. You can't, it's impossible to tell people how that feels. I've slipped and torn discs, and the normal procedure after that would be to do 0 activity for maybe a week or 2, get some steroid injections, and then slowly over the basis of 2 or 3 or 4 months, depending on how it is, get back to fitness, do all your core work. But like the thought of having a slip disc and going sitting in a boat, to me, it's like, that is unimaginable pain. I don't know.
I think his hips were flaring up as well at the same time.
That's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I'm pretty sure he had a hip replacement surgery a few years back.
He wouldn't be the first. There's some other guys that
It might have been hip replacement. I think he definitely had some injections and maybe labrum tear. I think it was hip replacement. I think it was a labrum tear repair.
I just remember there was a time at Leander when he had to like take time off, and I don't even know if he was able to walk. And I just heard that he had a hip replacement.
Yeah, I think it was a labrum tear.
Well, I mean, he said they asked him in the footage. She said, "How are you doing?" And his response was, "Well, I'm walking now." So that kind of puts him into perspective. Like he's obviously had a bunch of time. We're coming back from that.
Well, that's also what it takes to win the boat race. I mean, you have to do your degree. At the same time, you have to sacrifice all your social life or everything that you want to do extracurricular and just focus on training. How many sessions did you do a week in Oxford?
It was normally 12 sessions a week. And so because I had lectures at 9, I'll go to the early morning erg at 6:30. I'd get back, I'd have my breakfast, wolf down breakfast, quickly shower, run off to my lectures at 9. And then at 1:30, we'd be driving in the minibuses down to Wallingford, where the boathouse is. And then ABC involves a lot of faff, unfortunately. So
every club.
So you'd get back at 5:30, 5 if you're doing really well.
Yeah.
But over the summer in 2021, when me and my pairs partner, James Ford, who was the bow seat of this blue boat and the bow seat of the blue boat when I was in it, because it was just he and I in the pair, just training by ourselves. This was in the run up to my finals. So the pairs trials that we went to was a week before my finals started. So I was sitting there in between races revising, and people were looking at me going, "What on earth is this guy doing?"
Yeah.
But we were able to do sort of 70 minutes on the water and drive there, drive back, and get everything done. I think in like under just over 2 hours, so we just completely cut the faffs up. Right, here we go.
Yeah. No, it makes a big difference. Another thing, all those little things you have to do in the middle that other people don't see.
Balancing act.
Yeah, and I think one thing I've been told as well, especially even just from school, tutors, when you row, they're like, "Oh, I don't have to keep much an eye on you because I know you've got to have to learn time management, because there's absolutely no way you're going to row to any high level and do other things and not be able to manage your time." And I think that's like a transferable skill, which definitely helped me in terms of being able to like juggle a bunch of different things. Business afterwards is different, whereas rowing is a single problem, but then you've got your rowing problem and your uni problem and those things. So I think like that's something that you can take out of rowing.
Yeah.
Along with a broken back. I mean, that's the other thing, just again, to go back to Angus, rowing on a slip disc, it's not just a case of, okay, the next 6 months are going to be really hard. I mean, that's a case of like, I'm probably going to struggle with my mobility in the second part of my life. And that's something that comes into effect a little bit when you push to that amount of level. There's a sense of like, right, I might have to hurt my back in a way that might not come back from. And I think there's like, talking about those sort of things that start to give it a real sense of how important it is.
Yeah, very much so. People who want to come and do the boat race, they really, really want to come and do the boat race.
Yeah.